Hello, Beavers. Good day to you. Today is Friday. Um, it's the last day of my work in second sim. I just finished my last proctor today. So I have this month. I will have more time, enough time to record my testimonies about God's goodness. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how I survived my autoimmune last year in 2025. Of course, I survived it with God's grace. Yeah, and God's mercy. God is so good to me. Um, so here's the background. Last year in March 2025, um, I think it was the third or fourth week of March. It's towards the end of the month when I was diagnosed with autoimmune. So, what happened? I developed the autoimmune from stress from too much reading and writing. Because prior to that, I was writing um, and reading a lot for like 12 to 15 hours per day. I was so focused on finishing two research papers, the papers that I presented this year in an online research conference. So, admittedly, while I was so, um, when I was so eager to pursue my dream of having a publication to finish research papers about transhumanism and posthumanism, I became so self centered that I did not have even a small fraction of time to be with God. So I think God used my sickness to have my attention, to get my attention, and He was so successful at doing that. If ever that was intentional. So it was a Sunday when I first felt the symptoms. Let me tell you about the symptoms. So for a month before that Sunday, when my eyes started to become blurry, for a month already, I was already having a headache. And I thought that the headache would be just gone with the right medicine. Okay. So I've been to the hospital four times already, four different doctors, but the headache just won't go away. The the relief was only temporary. And so we did not, my husband and I, we did not consult a neurologist right away because I thought that it was just like migraine. Okay. Um, what else? Another symptom. Um, I remember in class I was stuttering. Like I could not find the right words to say in front of my students. For some weeks, I remember that. I have notes here because it's been a year already. I'm afraid that I have forgotten the other stuff already. Um, so it was a Sunday. I had a blurry eyesight. Then I did not tell my husband because number one, I did not want him to worry, and number two, he was so busy training his debaters during that week. In fact, few weeks before that. So I told him about my eye. It was blurry, and then I thought when I wake up the following day, which was Monday, that it would be back to normal. So I went to bed. But then when I woke up, I realized that um, my left eyesight turned grayish already, and I could only see partially. And when I say partially, very little, using my left eye. So we went to the hospital, the university hospital. But then when we went there in the morning, Monday morning, um, what happened? Yeah, the eye doctor was not there yet. The eye doctor would arrive 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So my husband's younger sister, who is a medicine graduate, a registered doctor now, she advised that we should go find another hospital right away. And so we did. We went to the nearest hospital next to the first hospital we went to. And then what happened? At the hospital, uh, the nurses in the front desk, they advised us to, based on my symptoms, they advised me to see a neurologist. So I had the appointment right away, and I saw the doctor right away. And then she checked me up, and then after that, she advised me. She recommended an immediate MRI test, an MRI, and so I had it. My dentist, I remember, because I don't speak Thai, so they helped me. The nurses and the doctor, they helped me talk to the dentist to remove my braces because in I believe in MRI, I was not allowed to wear my braces, so they removed it right away. And then in the evening, I think around 6 o'clock in the evening, I had the MRI, and I was there for 2 hours. Sorry, I'm such a crybaby. I remember my doctor said, "Don't worry, we will do everything to make your eyesight back." So I saw the panic. My doctor panicked. She was panicky while encouraging me. After that, another doctor, an eye doctor, also checked me up, and he said, "Yeah, I need to have the MRI." And so we waited for 2 hours. So I was there. I remember I fell asleep during my MRI because for 4 weeks, around 4 weeks already, I could not sleep well because of the very painful headache. Oh, especially here. Sometimes it's here on the right, and sometimes it's here on the left. So there. I had the MRI, and then after 2 hours, the result came out, and the test found out that I had an autoimmune that attacks my eye. So they started the IV steroids the very same night. Yeah, same night. Um, and they brought me to the ICU every time that that I would have the steroids via IV. They would take me to the ICU. So that's every day for 6 days. It's supposed to be 5 days only. However, on the fourth day, there was a problem with with I think my my pulse rate, if I'm not mistaken. So the doctor gave me something to fix the problem, because if my rate would not increase, I would not be qualified to take I would not be allowed to take the steroids. And I needed that because I wanted my eyesight back. Um, so there for 6 days, I was, yeah, because that whole week, my husband was so busy at work. Um, I remember being alone during daytime, but I have no grudges. I totally understood my husband's role in the annual event, because during that time he was the head of the speaking test events. So I remember my husband would go back and forth just to check me, in the hospital because our university is just 10 to 15 hour drive from the hospital. So yeah, he would really check me. He could call me, right? But he preferred to see me face to face to see if I'm okay, if I need anything, if I have taken my breakfast already or my lunch, and then for dinner we normally would eat together at the hospital room. So 6 days after that, I went home. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. I think last year was the longest 6 days of my life. Like, sorry for crying again. So yeah, 6 days. That was the longest 6 days of my life. While I was alone at the hospital, I was at the sixth floor and I would look out at the window and I would talk to God. And I remember I was begging Him to not take my eyesight away because I really love reading. It's my passion. I'm not very good in writing, but I really enjoyed reading. I was begging God, please bring back my eyesight. I think it's also my karma because prior to that, I was so focused on worldly desires and I did not have connection with God anymore for a long period of time. Thinking back now, I don't regret that. I don't question God for doing that because God used my sickness to bring me closer to Him. I have learned to um, depend on God, to depend on God, to depend on Him. So let me tell you briefly about my side effects from taking the steroids because after 6 days, I stopped using the IV steroids. But sorry for that. For 6 long months, I had to take tablet steroids. I started with 9 tablets per day and then tapering. So it became 7, it became 5, and then 3, 2, 1. The side effects, the first side effect that I felt as early as day 2 or day 3, I think, at the hospital was water weight gain. I remember my face became so swollen and constipation. I felt that when I was taking the steroids tablets already here at home. I'm going to tell in another in a separate video how I managed the side effects. But I'm going to mention them anyway. The side effects. The third side effect is insomnia. In the first month, I did not feel the insomnia, but when the tablet steroids started to kick in my system, I could not sleep at night anymore. I remember I had to request from my supervisors, my bosses, to give me, because the first semester was approaching, I requested to give me afternoon classes only for that semester because it's really difficult to manage sleeping, to manage the insomnia rather. Sorry. Another side effect, the fourth side effect, mood swings. My goodness. Mood swings. Because I was gaining weight, I was advised to go walking, if possible, daily. And at the same time, the doctor said that it would also help me manage my moods walking. So if I can, if my husband could go walking with me, he would go with me, and then we would talk a lot about the past, our very good memories. We would talk about our classmates, our mentors, and our friends in the Philippines. Yeah, I think God also used that, um, used my sickness to get me closer as well to my husband, not only to God. Um, Sometimes I would walk in the balcony because the view here is very, very green. I love the greenery here. We live in a forest. The university is in a forest, 800-hectare forest. Um, the fifth side effect is increased appetite. I would eat, I remember, every other hour. Oh my gosh, it was so easy for me to feel hungry. It's because of the medicine. Um, the sixth side effect was being forgetful. Yeah, I remember I could not, during the time that I was taking tablet steroids, I could not remember some words or some events that just recently happened. Um, and the seventh side effect was the buffalo hump. Um, that came out during my fifth month of taking the tablet steroids. Yeah, but it's no longer there. It went away quickly after I stopped taking the steroids after 6 months. So now, here's how I journeyed with the Bible. Um, when did I start reading the Bible? Before falling in love with reading the Bible, I was already praying the rosary regularly, especially when I got so sick. I'm very thankful to my friend in the Philippines. She is a lawyer. I remember in 2014, she gave me the rosary that was given to her by a nun and the rosary guide. And then that um, rosary was very miraculous. I prayed about my mom's cancer, stage 3 cancer, using that. And yeah, I'm going to tell you about that, how I prayed for my mom using the rosary in a separate video. So there I was praying the rosary, and I would really take an hour, 45 minutes to an hour just to pray the rosary. I loved it. I was praying. Why 1 hour instead of 15 minutes? Because for every decade, 10 beads, I would pray another prayer. Not because I don't only pray for me, I pray for my mom, my siblings, my nephews. I pray for my husband and his family. I pray for everybody I love, including my friends, even if we don't see each other anymore, even if we don't talk to each other a lot. There, so um, the insomnia persisted. There were times when I would sleep around 5 or 6 a.m. I would take sleep gummies. Sometimes two is enough. Two gummies are enough. But then sometimes I need to take four. And when it's really difficult to sleep, I would take six. Um, yeah, so I I turned to reading the Bible. I would wake up around 1 a.m. I would sleep, and then I would wake up again 3 a.m., sleep again, and wake up again 5. Yeah, those were very difficult days. So I decided to read the Bible. I remember this small Bible here in front of my Santo Niño. Um, and when I opened the Bible, I remember it was Psalm already. So I was saying inside, Lord, lead me when I read the Bible because it was not customary for me. It was not a habit for me to read the Bible. So I didn't know where to start. I just opened it and then it's Psalm. So I said, okay, Psalms. Okay. I read the name of King David, Psalm of David. So I started with Psalm 1. I turned to Psalm 1 and then I finished the chapter. And then two chapters got stuck in my heart, in my head. I felt connected with that chapter. So until now, it's still my favorite. My first favorite psalm is Psalm 23. And my second favorite is Psalm 133. Psalm 23 is The Lord is my shepherd, and Psalm 133 is um, a vision of a blessed community. I wasn't journaling then last year, but I was already praying the Bible, and I remember. Sorry for crying again. um, so there I remember I would raise my hand praying for the first time in my life. I have never done that before, but because I was fearing that I would have gray eye again. So I said, Lord, heal me. Yeah, the mood swings, one of the most difficult to manage during my autoimmune. Yeah, I would pray to God. From Psalm 23, you restore my strength. But I have faith that you are going to restore my strength. And indeed, indeed, you restored my strength. But not very immediately. I started to feel the effect of reading the Bible a few weeks, maybe around 2 weeks. And then I said to myself, I think God is hearing me. So I continued reading the Bible until such time that I started journaling. And I also remember praying, sorry. I also remembered praying. Every meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, I would pray the same. I would say a lot of thank yous to God. Before I eat, I would pray for 5 to 10 minutes. I remember my husband um, just sitting there quietly while I'm praying before I eat. I would pray. I would thank God for my doctors. I thank God for the medicine. Lord, I pray that you bless my doctors. You bless the medicine that I'm taking. That they would heal me instantly, Lord. And I also prayed to God for the people who visited me at the hospital. No matter how busy we were in the university, they would have time. Some of them, they visited me twice. Um, and I remember there were 4 colleagues who visited me. 3 colleagues who visited me to pray for me. So one time, 2 of them, they were both women. They visited me to pray for me while I was at the ICU. And yeah, that was day 4. I remember that day 4 because that was the time when I was not allowed to take the IV steroids for medical reason because of my pulse, I think. And then another colleague who is also a Filipino visited me to pray for me because he asked me, how can I help you? How can we help you? And then I said, prayer. I was not expecting him and his wife to visit me at the hospital. But they did. I thought they would just pray for me while at home or while they were worshiping with other Filipinos. But they did. They visited me. They really invested time to see me and to pray for me. Yeah, and I said they uttered the one of the most powerful prayers that I've heard. And they were actually Christians. Um, so they're physically, emotionally, and spiritually, I started to feel the healing while I was reading the Bible, and I was also praying for my friends. And I also, every meal, I would also pray, include in the prayer. Thank you, Lord, for my bosses who approved my request to have the classes in the afternoon only, and for the colleagues and the students who showed and expressed their love and care for me and offered their prayers for me. And I'm also thankful to the family of my husband because they're very prayerful. And aside from that, um, my family and my husband's family, God is so good because I never problematized where to get the financial resources to pay for the hospital bill, because the hospital was a hospital of specialized doctors, so it's not very cheap, but I think it was worth it. And yeah, I felt it in my heart that I did not have to worry about that because it's been a long time since I felt secure that the Lord is my shepherd, that He is my provider. Um, so, in conclusion, um, in those 6 months, I I lived to see, to remember that God is merciful, that God hears our prayers, even the most silent ones. That God is so good that He will provide all the time. He provided me with financial resources, people who prayed for me, people who expressed their love for me and their care for me. And God gave me another chance to see how beautiful the world is, His creation is. It shifted how I see the world. Like, I focus now on the good things and not on what I am lacking in my life. And I look forward to God's blessings each day, each day. A second chance to see the beauty of life again. Another one is God is intentional. Another conclusion is that God is intentional. Yeah, my life, my sickness is, my autoimmune is, and my healing from it with God and the people He sent me during those difficult days of my life. They are all from Him. He used my sickness to bring me closer again to Him. God is so, so good. So, I'm already, after that, I have started, because I was announced healed by, I think, October, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, and by the end of September, I think. And then by October, I started journaling. This notebook is very miraculous. I'm going to share with you in another video the miracles that I have journaled here, that I have recorded here. So, on October 15, I started thanking Abba for a lot of things. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pages. From October 15 to October 19. A lot of thank you notes to Abba. So there, I hope I was able to, if ever you are going through, the same sickness right now, having an autoimmune, and you find it difficult to recover, to heal, or to manage your sickness, symptoms, I would like to encourage you. I would like to recommend that you start reading the Bible. You can start with Psalms. The Bible is a book of miracles. And I am just one of the many living testimonies of God's goodness and miracles. Thank you, Beavers. See you again in the next videos. Bye.